The human being was made to question his reality. Here is provided a forum that invades and rejects the mainstream media, where ideas and topics of interest outside of the norm are free to flourish and grow in the strangeness and with objectivity that is their right. Join us now for a discussion from somewhere between the real and the imagined, between outer and inner space, where things just odd enough to be the truth have a place to live, breathe, and make their home. Recorded live from the jagged edge of reality. This is Jag Radio.
You bet your ass it is. Welcome once again to the show where guys get together to talk about guy things. Oh, but we're not talking pussy. We're not talking Panamanian beauties. Oh, but we are talking possible pernicious paranormal phenomena surrounding a pipeline. I am Alex Martinelli, here with JD Marcel, George Antonio, and producer Dre Day All Day. How's everybody doing, man?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Rock on. Also in the studio today, we have a special guest, a man of Native American descent, here to fill us in on all that pipeline stuff I was warning you guys about just now. Mr. Efren Lurking Seal. Say what's up, man.
Aho. My
Hey,
name is
yeah.
Efren Lurking Seal, and I'm here to inform you on what's going on in North Dakota right now as we speak. And not only in North Dakota, but in other areas as well as Texas and also Maryland and Miami. But North Dakota is the most important stand right now that my people are taking on corporate interests and overall pollution and destruction of Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm. And so what exactly is going on? I mean, when you say destruction, because none of it, I've never, and perhaps that's true of most of the listeners of the show right now, I have no idea what it is that's going on up there that is so disastrous. So fill us in, man, if you would.
Well, to speak of disaster mayhem that has been caused by corporate interest, I'll start off with 5 states have been sending police officers to North Dakota from 5 different states to take on the protesters, and they ran out of funds. So they dipped into the state's funds to back up the pro oil militia that's forming there. So far, they've managed to blow off the arm of a young lady. She's only 21 years old.
Oh my God!
They blew off her arm with a flash grenade that shouldn't be shot at people. But that was November 24th.
And these are all people that are peacefully protesting, right?
They have no weapons. They're not they're not hippies. They're not there like fornicating and smoking drugs. They're praying, and they're standing for nature and for their rights on their own land.
So what's happening is, from what I gather, is that there's a project, a federal project they're trying to build a pipeline through the sacred Native American land here, and so the people there are standing in protest against that, and this is where all this kind of thing is going down.
Correct. That land there is under the 1851 Laramie Act and also the 1865 Laramie Act. It's recognized by the United Nations as Native American land. Mm-hmm. And these corporations have got easements, land easements, which are kind of leases, which were denied by Obama recently on December 5th, but they still haven't moved out their gear. They haven't took off the barricades from the roads, and they're saying, hey, we're going to wait it out until we get our new president into office. And so that's the fight that's going on.
So I read something not too long ago about them deciding not to build the pipeline. That was all a rumor then.
Well, if they continue to build under Obama's denial of the easement and the construction, all they get is slapped with a $50 million fine. which they had already had in advance prepared that amount of money. So they're
Oh,
kind of like,
shit.
we got the money. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do what we want to do.
So rich, corrupt people just doing what they want to do.
Unfortunately, and
Damn.
this they've been protesting since June, July. I started hearing about they were gonna take a stand. They were trying to get people displaced to other areas, and the Sioux Standing Rock Sioux tribe is the tribe that lives there. They said we're
And
not.
those are your people?
No,
No?
actually, I'm Native American from Mexico.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, right on. Right on.
I'm born in, or my dad was born in Jalisco, Huejuquilla, El Alto.
Oh shit.
Right.
And there's the Huichol tribe there that.
Right, but it isn't all. I mean, or it seems to me like among Native Americans, there is that sense that there is just it's all unity, right? There is just one tribe, in a sense.
Yeah, it all ties back down to prophecy. But before we get into the prophecies, just to continue on, is that, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe there has said, we're not leaving. This is our land. We don't know how to live on other lands. And they met armed resistance. They're peaceful protesters, but as I said before, they're being shot with rubber bullets. They're being hosed down in below like 23 degree temperature.
Wow.
A lot of people got hypothermia. Many people started to have seizures. And this was all
Whoa.
during November, the Thanksgiving holidays.
Wow.
Ironically.
How sad.
That actually is ironic. Yeah, no, and it's funny. It actually ties into the Thanksgiving message we had for the fans on the website, JAGradio.com.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
remember we had a meme up there that touches on that subject. Yeah, I'll let you go on in a second, Ethan. But I was thinking about that the other day, which is, I had heard about a protest. It might have actually been that one where people were complaining about how they were shot with water cannons in like super cold weather at night.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, who did that? I mean, who gives that order? Because you can see in the daytime, and we've all seen the footage of the summer protesters being shot with water and so forth, and it is relatively harmless if it's 85 degrees
Yeah.
out.
Right.
But the mercury dips far enough, and water becomes a water cannon can
Dangerous.
be lethal.
Dangerous, yeah,
absolutely. And
Very
I think to myself, God damn, like people are probably getting sick that we don't hear about, or say you picked up a bug somewhere, and now all you need is the cold to sort of fully complete your illness. It sucks, man. It sounds rough.
No, yeah, definitely. And like you said, a lot of people can develop hypothermia. Frostbite is an issue as well in such cold temperatures. I mean, people sadly could potentially lose fingers, limbs, whatever.
Are there stories of anything like that, Ephraim?
Not that I've heard of, no.
Mhm.
And nothing's been reported of that
But-
matter of. But yeah, that girl. What happened is she got
The one
hit
that
with
lost her arm?
Yeah, she lost a lot of vital arteries in her arm, and
Mm-hmm.
she had to get surgery in order to try to save it. And I don't believe they were successful to keep her arm.
Aw,
intact,
damn.
So.
Wow.
And
That
other
sucks.
than that, a
So
13-year-old.
protesting cost you an arm at that point.
Yeah, a 13-year-old also, she got shot in the face with a rubber bullet. And
Ouch.
they don't break the skin, but they could break bones. They're really.
They have a lot of momentum to them, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
And,
actually.
Yeah.
there's another protester that got hit in the eye, and she lost her vision as well.
Oh,
Jesus H, man.
And yeah, they're peaceful protesters. Their main concern is the stand that they're taking on against corporations that aren't respecting land. Their interest is in profit.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the prophecy. That's something new to me. I'm interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I've since we're in 2016, but back in 2012, I started to look into the whole Olmec calendar and the whole Mayans calendar coming to an end in December 21st, 2012.
Right.
And that led me into understanding that a lot of other cultures have prophesied, that these times that we're living in is a culmination point. And when it comes to the prophecy in North Dakota, it ties to a Hopi Indian prophecy, which there was 9 prophecies. The 7th was that the oceans will turn black. and many creatures will be dead on the seashores, and we've
Mm-hmm.
obviously seen that the oil, petroleum, just
Seeping in.
Yeah, seeping.
Okay. So they're taking leaks of oil and sort of raw petroleum or whatever it is going into the ocean as being a fulfillment
Yeah,
of that
it's leaking.
prophecy.
And whenever there's a leak, it's not like a little drop
Mhm.
of oil. It's like thousands of
Right.
gallons of crude oil being dumped. But that was the seventh prophecy. But the eighth prophecy ties directly to the North Dakota, which is the prophecy goes that a black serpent will try to cross the river on native lands, and the 7 tribes of the natives will come together to stand up against this black snake. And if they don't succeed to stop the snake, which is and figuratively speaking, it could be the pipeline, the oil pipeline. If they don't succeed in stopping it, then that's going to mark the end of the world. And,
How does that serpent, or the pipeline in this case, being built, lead to the end of the world?
if you look at how there's a place that's called Garbage Island. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
On the East Coast?
It's through the ocean currents. Everything kind of goes in a flow, but plastic is not degradable. So plastic, it'll last forever.
So I've heard.
Yeah, and you can see it in the oceans. There's tons of plastic that is polluting the ocean. Many ocean creatures are eating this plastic, and they can't digest that, so they wind up dead. And that's why we have so much mass death with the ocean creatures. Also, we see what's going on with the ozone layer, the carbon emissions that are completely toxic, to the point where in China there's areas that are considered like complete toxic,
Yeah,
wastelands. They can't. That's why they
hazardous.
have the
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
I knew a woman once from Shanghai who told me, and this is going back maybe 10 years ago or so I can imagine what it looks like now, but who told me that if you were to walk in to downtown Shanghai wearing a white t-shirt, you'd come out and your shirt would be black.
Right.
Or
Whoa.
like gray, like faded black, just from all the shit in the air.
All the
Suit, and
Ugh.
there are Americans. There are Americans going over there who
Exactly,
are sort of finding ways to profit off of this.
Right, 'cause-
They're
yeah.
patenting devices to help you clean the air in your apartment and so
Yeah,
forth. So
it's outsourcing to other countries like China, and then they take on that burden and that brunt of our pollution.
yeah, and the thing about it too, the Chinese don't give a fuck. I mean, they are in such an upward swing in terms of their industrial development that they're sort of create manufacturing wise. 'Cause
Right.
God knows those people don't have a bone of legitimate creativity in their bodies. And I'm not, like, look.
I don't know. I
Before
mean-
anybody gets their panties in a bunch, all China does is copy American crap. All right, so just for God's sake. But it really. There, in terms of the development of nations, there tends to be, a period of production, and if you're, the way that, because they went from being essentially communist and having very little to now that in a relatively short amount of time, they are fairly well developed. They're a superpower in the world. The difference being between them and the United States and European countries is that their focus always seems to be on making money at the expense of the environment.
Well,
or
they're
whatever you
they
wanna
have the
call it.
largest population in the country, right? Or in the world.
In the world,
Yeah.
right?
So-
the average man on Earth, just sort of in terms of averages, is a Chinese man, like a 25-year-old Chinese man.
Fascinating.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was their government and it's communist, right? And I would be like, all right, well, I can relax the environmental regulations, right? I have fucking 5 billion people at my disposal.
Mhm.
Why not manufacture, goddammit, and destroy
And
everything?
get rich as shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's weird because we do seem to see it as a sort of cyclical cycle. Sorry about that, the mic there. A sort of cyclical in terms of the development of nations. They will eventually
cap.
you know, well,
Or
they'll
bubble.
get to the point where they become like, you know, maybe decades from now, like Norway and the Scandinavian countries, where there is a sort of
Purity.
yeah, well, I don't know about purity, Hitler, but there is a, you know, accountability in a sense. It's like, yeah, we make our money, we get up, we go to work, we work harder than anybody, but we also take time out to create environmental regulations, maybe their own version of the EPA if they don't already have one, but it appears to be useless, so it doesn't matter. And you know, there is a sort of sustainability and you know, maybe a sense, a sort of a universal or national sense that this gravy train isn't going to run on fumes forever. Eventually, we're going to break down. And what is the Earth but a big floating thing in space that we only get one? I mean, we fuck it up, we're kind of screwed, right? Even from a
Right.
capitalistic perspective. for
Well,
God's
do you
sake.
guys think that we have the technology to leave Earth at this moment, like Area 51 type of cover up to leave Earth if we have to?
I doubt that, but I think Elon Musk is working on it. By the way, if that guy, I wish that guy were president, for God's sake. I mean, not to put down my Lord and Savior.
He's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, God, he's good. God, screw that guy. He's so good. God, what a goddamn life, right? When there's so many people I know, including myself, who can't get their shit off the ground. This guy built you know, what did he build? SpaceX and was it PayPal, George?
PayPal, yeah,
What
and
Something else.
Solar City.
So
He just has that drive,
Solar
man.
City,
He's a businessman.
SpaceX,
Wow.
PayPal. He was the
PayPal.
founder of PayPal. Yeah.
and he has something else.
Isn't he
Something.
Tesla?
Tesla, man.
Tesla.
Tesla. there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
can't
no
forget about
fucking
Tesla.
way.
That's one guy, Jay.
Iron,
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Iron
all
Man
that
will be
stuff.
president in the future. I guarantee you.
You think so?
You think
I
so?
hope so. Oh,
You
for
heard it
God.
now on JAGradio.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for that fucking day.
We prophesize that he will be president.
Yeah. No, and I mean, think about it. For God's sake, what a life when you can take a road trip to San Francisco, you know, from the jagged edge of reality, from where we are filming. No, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we're recording out of the Southern California area. And, you know, you can get in a car and go, you know, whatever, a shit ton of miles, charge your car at stations along the way if need be, and come back.
No.
I mean, god damn, I'm not sure where they are with that technology now, but I mean, really, it's such a
They're
vast,
they're
innovative
providing
improvement.
Tesla's providing a free turbo or what do they call it, supercharging or whatever stations where they're trying to work on a technology where they can charge the full batteries within like 30 minutes or something.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not like, you know, pouring like,
Wow.
you know, filling up your tank with gasoline like in 10 minutes, but they're getting there
Yeah, and how far on a full battery can you get?
about approximately 300 miles.
Yeah,
Oh
see
my
that?
God.
Oh my god!
And
would you
man.
get a
style,
Tesla?
in style, bro.
Would you get a Tesla?
Are you kidding
I got
me?
a Tesla, bro.
I masturbate to pictures of the Model S. I wish I had one of those cars.
You know, we because
I got it.
he works with us, and we have a coworker that, you know, she purchased the Tesla, but she's not gonna get it until next year.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
She'd have to deposit, right? Like 5
Yeah,
G's or something.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
The budget model.
Yeah, yeah, it was a budget model.
yeah, there's-
Yeah, it was like 23 G's or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
So they're making it affordable.
The pre-order lines were around the block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
about that.
Didn't they cut off a guy because he was being a douche or something like that? They
He was
had
being a dick?
Yeah. they
Why?
had a-
You can't be a dick and own a car.
Yeah.
You go to Toyota for that, right?
That's right. No, but it was something about. I heard something about a guy who was being a dick to the, you know, while he was ordering, you know, trying to whatever pre-order his car, and they got so tired of him they're just like, you know what, we're canceling your thing and you're not getting a car.
You know the motherfucker's gonna be a headache for them.
You know, we were gonna give you a car, but you a dick.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like a lease-zilla.
You hear that, Starbucks? You gotta start doing that.
You gotta start doing
But
that.
don't do it
Starboy.
to me. I get to be a dick wherever I
No,
go.
do it to him,
For
especially to
God's
him.
sake. Oh man.
No, yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. No, man. You know, how old are you there? Living seal.
I just turned 30.
Lurking seal, sorry about
30
that.
on the 26th of
Oh,
November.
okay. Rock
Yeah,
on, man.
happy
Hey,
birthday.
yeah, happy birthday.
Thank
Just
you,
passed.
guys.
So you
Appreciate
are
that.
a millennial. Do you
Yeah.
feel that this generation, the millennial generation, is more entitled, generally speaking, than other generations before us? Or do you see entitlement in millennials typically?
No, not at all. I think that we are
Classic millennial answer.
not at all. Yes, I'm entitled to. You know, I would look like I've never really been asked that question, but I mean, I'm entitled to clean air. You know, I'm entitled to clean water. I'm entitled to, natural resources that aren't nobody's. They're the earth. The earth is gives an abundance, and it's completely sustainable. Nature is in itself efficient, and
Yeah, but
it
how am I going to
just-
drive my car, man? I mean, I get that
Yeah.
your
Dude,
nature's
you
efficient.
you ride amongst bald eagles, bro.
I can't wait till they invent something where it's like Back to the Future, the DeLorean, where part 2, where you could just put trash into the DeLorean and then it fucking runs on
No,
trash.
I heard that there was a guy, and I think there's been several people. Anybody chime in who knows anything about this, who have built vehicles that can run on
Water?
used cooking oil or water. You know
Yeah.
anything about this, George?
Whoa.
A little bit. Actually, they're doing it now. There's a lot of places that are actually just getting recycled cooking oil from various restaurants, refining it, and just running
Using
into
it.
engines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as fuel.
Yeah,
There-
come
for
down.
for the longest time, it was funny. Back when the oil spike was really powerful. Back roughly 5-7 years ago or something like that. They were the one car that people would just dump in their backyard and let it just fucking have weeds and shit fucking grow through the windshields and shit were Mercedes models. Back there's 70 and 80 models, right?
Okay,
They had some sort of they were diesel engines, right? Because no one liked diesel engines back then. They're clunking and shit down the street. But this particular model of Mercedes can be outfitted with just a rickety-dick little fucking adapter that you literally just refine cooking oil from the local McDonald's or some shit,
Oh, wow.
and you got fucking gas for 300 miles.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Let that guy who built that technology come to the jagged edge of reality,
Yeah.
which is full of Mexican restaurants.
Oh,
Get yourself some grease,
there's
man.
nothing
Yeah.
better than
You got-
taco oil.
Oh,
It's
Taco oil.
fuel for fucking years, bro.
Yeah, seriously. And God, and you know what's funny is, do you guys think? Because here's the thing. I think everyone in this room grew up in a predominantly Hispanic community,
Okay.
right? We have, and I don't think it's a stranger to anybody, a bit of an obesity epidemic in our communities.
No, what are you talking about? bro?
Marcel's self-conscious. But we do, and I'm wondering either that, and I think I was having a conversation with George about this off the air, which is what's causing that? What is causing, and I think honestly it might be related to the same mechanism that causes people to develop other bad habits like smoking, which I would never condone.
Ever.
And
Never.
certain types of drug use and so forth. So here's the thing. What I'm wondering is this: considering that this is a low-income area, we all grew up in low-income communities except for George, as you can tell by his skin color.
Fucking richer.
Dude, I'm green because the lights are reflecting off my skin color.
Quiet, Richard.
Reptile right here.
Stop
bro.
talking, Richard. How is it that there can be obesity, that obesity can exist simultaneously in the same domain as poverty?
I mean, look at the Buddha, man.
Well, all right. Who's
well,
been
he-
hitting the
that
joint?
was
He
fucking fat.
was immortalized chunky, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
but I heard that was actually supposed to be like a figurative image of what he's got
Yeah.
inside. Outside, he was just this lean, thin,
Like
monk.
almost skeleton. From my understanding, he actually almost completely killed himself by starvation.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Really?
because
an
he was
ascetic
trying
first.
to
Whoa.
he wanted to fight against.
I recommend that method for weight loss, by the way. All
Yeah,
you ladies
starving.
who don't like what you're
Starvation.
looking at in the mirror, stop eating for
You're
God's
looking
sake.
fine with those
You
bones.
look way cuter when you're thin.
It's nothing like that fifth rib protruding. Turns me on.
Oh my
That
God.
rib action.
I got to tell you just thinking
Oh
about it.
hell yeah! What's
Hell
up?
yeah.
Yeah, Dre knows what's up.
It's nothing like that. It's
What I
nothing
noticed
like.
about BBW is all of it has to be done sideways. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you for that public
No,
service announcement.
but you know what? To go along with your question, you know what? I mean, you just got to think about what the resources that are available right now. McDonald's, all the fast food restaurants that are so many that they're just exploding all over the country. And then you're talking about poverty. It's cheap as well. And then tied in with a lack of self-control.
No, but
that's
look,
why I'm
but
fat.
Look,
Like,
you can go to supermarket. You can buy beans. You can buy rice. You can buy eggs. That's probably cheaper than a Big Mac meal for your
yeah,
family.
but you know what? That's
healthier.
difficult.
But why
also
that choice?
laziness.
Why that choice? Laziness. right?
Laziness, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
fucking delicious.
See
right?
that I think I just got slammed in the face with the door of utter truth here. Laziness, because you said something really significant, which I think I don't see. I don't want to call it laziness. But I do think the self-control thing is the key factor.
Okay.
Is that possible? And could it be that same lack of self-control is a large component to the amount of poverty there is in a country as wealthy as America?
What do you think, E?
I'll say that I wouldn't blame it
That's
on
actually Mr. Lurking Seal.
self-control.
sir.
Correct.
Mr. Lurking
Correct,
Seal.
Amundo.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, like it's not about self-control, it's about what's available. And we were talking about Tesla, right? We want a renewable engine, like renewable energy here. Okay, well, you want that? You want the good stuff? You're
I
going to
do.
have to pay for that.
I
How
am.
much? It's like 500,000, and you'll see it, like my girlfriend, she's looking into like natural green products like fabrics,
Like hemp.
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 Yeah.
And she
Is
goes,
she also
okay.
Native American?
Just
or
like
is
our
she of
forefathers.
the White
She's,
Devil tribe.
She's from the Vietnamese.
Nice.
The yellow
oh, wow.
those are
tribe.
so hot.
Yellow
my
people.
I see a fetish.
Yes, I think I share it.
Guilty here.
No, listen, aren't they the best? Aren't they the best, for God's sake? All right, no more perving now.
Sometimes, man.
That's
Sometimes.
a little too pervert.
But I mean, okay, so she was looking for underwear,
Oh yeah, we're perfect now. Let's do it.
Wow, this just got weird.
Yeah.
Show just got
No, go ahead,
strange.
I'm
And
sorry.
it was like $40 for a pair of
Holy
like, tidy whities
shit.
made out of hemp, and
See?
she's like, okay, like for $3, I could get like 10 pairs of Fruit of the Loom,
Cotton.
So that's what it is. It's not necessarily laziness. It's just that in itself.
Yeah,
like,
but
not
yeah,
everybody-
underwear is different from what you put down the old pie hole.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Obesity is a little different from like just buying clothes. Yeah.
Do you think? Here's a question. Here's a funny question. Like McDonald's, for example, right?
Okay.
They do massive marketing, right? They don't.
Right.
They're not. We all know.
Dude,
that
they have a new movie coming out about McDonald's.
You mean a documentary or something?
I don't know what that is.
It's a movie.
What is it called? Founder.
Yeah, Founder.
Founder.
With Michael Keaton.
All right.
Wow.
So this is what I'm assuming.
Shout out to Michael
For
Keaton.
example,
Batman.
Batman.
would you assume that the feeble-minded, right, like poverty, right?
Wow.
I'm going
Just
on
took
an
a
edge
page
here.
out of my book.
I'm going on the edge here, right?
Okay.
Oh boy.
George, I like you so much
Yeah.
right now.
We're
Oh
so
my god.
sued.
And he's sitting next to me. I'm scared, bro. Want to switch places?
No, you
He's
should
so
be.
turned
Yeah.
on.
I
Terrified.
gotta
Huge
start home,
boner.
guys.
So, I'm assuming they probably watch the most television. I'm assuming of if you want to break it down percentages, but maybe they're the most open to the brainwashing of these commercials, and it's like, fuck, those fries look mighty tasty. I'm gonna have some right now. And then you get a toy in the fucking. I mean, I think they train
Oh,
them young
yeah,
with
that
the
was-
fucking toys, right? And you just, as tradition, you just follow that conditioning as you grow up into your older, maturity. And I think they got you from the youth, man. They got you from the youth.
You talking to me specifically?
As
what
much
the fuck?
Well, you are our resident representative of the obese.
Yeah.
No.
BBW.
Wow. The
No,
funny thing.
BBM. What's up?
The funny thing.
In the house.
The thing about this show is, as much as I try to stir shit up, George just comes up with the most horrific things. I mean, if you're a liberal, super liberal hippie type, George just went, see, the thing about the feeble-minded is this. They're easily brainwashed, thus they become fat.
Like I said, we're so fucking sued right now.
Oh, my God.
Hold on, we're gonna go on a break for McDonald's.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
No, I think, here's what I
Pro-official
think.
fillet.
Here's what I. That's right. Well, how dare you desecrate the ponds of nature, standing eagle. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I honestly think the unspoken part of all this is, you guys, and this isn't. I have no
Yes, sir.
scientific evidence to back this up, but I honestly believe a lot of this has to do, or this sort of self-control that we seem to be lack of self-control that we seem to be hovering around, has to do, or is created by childhood trauma. Now there's no way to prove this, but I feel like in life and with human beings, the worse your childhood is, the more impulsive you become. Generally speaking, I mean, there may be there are ways as you become an adult to sort of rein in that impulsivity, but I mean, is that possible? And what have you guys seen regarding that? Because I know this. I can tell you this
I
much.
can key in here if you.
Yeah, feel free, brother.
As far as advertising goes, you guys have heard of Sigmund Freud, right?
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud, a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
He did a bunch of stuff. He has a nephew now. I can't recall his name, but you can Google it.
Something
Sigmund
Freud.
Freud's
Wow, wow.
nephew.
What it do, nephew?
Yeah, but he was the first person to include in marketing like psychological vulnerabilities that people may have.
Yeah,
You
like
guys-
neural marketing. They call it neural
There you
marketing.
go.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Oh,
Neuromarketing.
yeah.
Yeah, tell
Have
me
you seen
more
that,
about
like, oh, you know, you have cellulite, and they show it all, and you need our product, and
Or you
know,
won't look
people-
good, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
make it a social contrast where you
yeah.
want to get laid, right?
So,
So you want to get rid of the
They
cellulite.
will use.
That's fascinating. Your image was of a male. Mine was of a female.
Yeah,
Not like
what's
in that
going on,
satellite.
George?
How fascinating is that?
Does your
bro.
wife know?
I got rolls, bro. I got
And, I
rolls
mean,
for miles.
It's like, oh, you want to fit in? Buy these sneakers. Or you want to be cool and be hip and happening? Come have a cafe in the morning. That's what it's all about. You know?
They play it against the social element because we all want to be accepted somehow, right? So they pit it against sexuality, right? Because everybody wants to procreate somehow, I
And
guess,
the whole sex
eventually.
sells. That's completely from that
Yeah.
nephew.
And
stuff,
and
so.
no, and not only does sex sell, but when you peel an orange, when you appeal to a person's, especially a man's instinct to, merge,
I like that merge. I like that.
you do get a canal, as it were, into
canal?
marketing.
I like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's Freud.
Another
for you.
That's
sexual
beautiful,
word.
bro.
Canal,
That's
huh?
Very poetic.
blah 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 phallic blah 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 cigar. No, but I mean, that's interesting. I mean, because that opens up the idea, which I have always believed, which is you want to get a guy to do something. Okay. With male behavior, and I don't care if you're gay or straight. I mean, a few of you out there might be asexual, and you just are not sexual people, and that's fine. But most of the things, I dare say 95% of the things young males do, they do because they want sex. I mean, we do just about everything in the hope, ultimately, of getting laid. That's
Okay.
the dark secret for all the lady listeners.
So
Oh,
do
boy.
whatever we have to do to gain status and get sex.
That's right. And isn't that really, I mean, look at the guy who, with the BMW. He's not doing that for other guys. He's not doing it for himself, which is what a lot of women claim plastic surgery and so forth is
Like a
for, which
rock.
I don't believe. That's right.
Oh, like a rock.
Damn.
But it's all for the ultimate motive of attaining sex. Isn't that the case?
Yeah,
I
totally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I think that's a disordered cultural phenomenon that's going on, and it just started going on recently. Because if you remember back in the 1950s, Rick James.
I do remember that, yeah.
I was there.
Well, of course, right?
Well, I was
That
sitting
this
in my
afternoon, actually.
my youngest daughter had just gone into the sitting room. I
listening
was
to Little Richie.
I was in my lazy boy smoking a cigar,
But if
having
you,
a glass of
Let me
bourbon.
rephrase. If you look back,
The
to
little lady was baking
1950s,
cupcakes in her polka dot dress.
Yeah, if you look back to that time, you had Elvis Presley, you had James Brown. They were getting censored for what? For dancing.
Yep.
They couldn't show.
Elvis wasn't Elvis too for
Below
shaking his
the
hips.
what?
Yeah.
There you go. And that was not too long ago. But now, what do you see? You see way more than that. And I'm just saying that. Back then, it was much more conservative. They were actually conservative in every sense of the word. But now it's kind of like.
Well,
That's true, but how much of stuff was going on behind the scenes? I mean, look at Mad Men and Don
Okay.
Draper and all his sexual exploits. I believe, in other words, what I'm saying is
Look at
men
Walt
have always.
Disney.
Oh God, men have always been men, regardless of what era you're in. Right, George? Yeah, that's right.
There you go. There you go.
Love that guy.
That was masculine right there.
Damn. What is
Raw,
that?
unfiltered.
Tool the
masculinity.
Mi-
We got
Tim the
masculine on
Toolman
audio.
Taylor.
If semen can make a sound, it would be that.
It's funny if you reflect back on those times. I Love Lucy, right? That was back in the 50s and shit,
Right.
where everybody was sleeping in separate beds.
Oh yeah. No,
Right.
well, you know what? I think that was just for TV.
Yeah, that's right. I
That
don't
was just
think
for
those
TV.
people
Everybody
actually
would
did
like
that.
I'm sure husband and wife, yeah, they had a bed together, but for TV's sake, no, we don't
George,
want to
yeah.
show them together.
No,
That's sexual.
George, just imagine yourself. Imagine George Antonio in 1954. Wouldn't you be the same guy? Would you stand for separate beds? I mean, I would. Honestly, if I ever live with a woman, we're going to have separate rooms.
I
for
It's like,
God's sake.
sweetie, do you have a headache tonight, or can we get the beds together?
I think if George was back in those times, orgies would have came sooner.
That's why Georgie rhymes with orgy, bro. Right?
Wow.
That's right.
You could tie it all. You could tie it all into. No, but you could tie it all back to like consumerism back then. Like you know, you had Jack in the Box, you had McDonald's, but it wasn't what it was today. You know, it was.
What do you think? What do you think has been the catalyst of that? What do you think is the critical? Is it advertising? Is it television I mean, obviously television has evolved since then, right? That's one medium that has grown, right?
Okay.
Do you blame it on the internet? What do you guys blame it on?
Here's where it gets crazy.
Oh damn!
Oh
Hey,
shit!
there's a black snake.
So with Mayan prophecy, the Olmec calendar, there's 9 galactic underworlds, right? And what they prophesied is that we're living in ages,
Mhm.
and these ages exponentiate in time acceleration. You know, think of cavemen, right? Cavemen,
Okay.
they didn't have villages, they didn't have cities, they didn't have money. They just had like primal instinct
Right.
fueling them. That was one galactic underworld, and that phase lasted for thousands of years, we could say.
So then Galactic Underworld is
Mhm.
a representation of sort of the ages of man and civilization.
It's called an underworld because like a tree grows, it has roots
Yeah.
underground.
Mhm.
You know? And let's go back to the cavemen.
Yes.
You know what, they found fire, right? And then what did that cause? That caused them to be able to cook. That caused them to be able to see, scare away predators, and that
live longer, right? From lack
Right.
of food poisoning. Yeah.
Right, and what came from that is civilization. They started to come together, tribes, forming, and that was another age. But then currency came into play and bartering.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
You hear that, everybody who tells me I need to eat raw foods? Cavemen ate nothing but raw foods, and they died when they were 25.
Hey, but
Right.
you know what? Sushi's
And
fucking delicious, man.
Sushi is delicious.
Yeah.
That's a sexual euphemism. I read into that.
If
That we're
you-
back. Hey, we went full circle. We're back to Vietnamese women.
Ah,
So-
ba-dum-bum.
So then came the next stage. Sorry about that.
And then it was,
Yes, yes.
actually cooking meat. It speeds up processing so that we don't have to digest the raw meat,
Mhm.
and it actually, people like anthropologists or people that have looked into that, I've read that, that actually helped us evolve more like intellectually and stuff.
Oh.
That, and according to Terrence McKenna, that also helped us. The mushrooms also helped us evolve.
How did mushrooms play into evolution of
Oh,
mankind?
that's Terrence McKenna's theory. You could Google him, and there's literally thousands of hours.
Yeah,
of-
So
of
producer
his
Dre,
stuff.
Dre. So
I'm
there's
curious.
Yeah.
just because you have a mushroom as your logo, bro. There's no. It's
Mhm.
not an accident. I take it, bro.
That's-
Is it?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your
There-
evolution right there, bro.
This is
Yeah.
the evolution of radio that you're witnessing, ladies and gentlemen.
Eating cow dung. That's how we came to where we're at now.
What?
What?
But let's go back to these.
That's why I was saying eat shit.
Wait, hold on a second. We can't just skip over that. What?
Yeah, the psilocybin, the spores of the mushroom.
Are you on mushrooms right now?
You can say that. Yeah.
Oh shit!
But
There you go. Yeah.
but yeah, so we started to get together, being communities, and that led to what was the third epoch in human evolution, which was industry. Industrialization came and went really quick. Within 100 years, a century.
Yeah,
we
it
were,
was.
Yeah.
we were railroads,
Super
factories,
fast.
mass producing, and global trade, and all this stuff happened within 100 years. And from where we started as like fire, people that lived in caves and stuff, we came a long way in a very short time.
Right, relatively
And
quickly.
That's time acceleration.
Here's something I've always like revered from Native Americans, right? They're people would perceive them as primitive to a certain degree, but they were actually pretty advanced, I think, spiritually, right?
Very advanced.
So they knew the contact with Earth. They knew, like for the protest, they're protecting the Earth. They feel
Right.
the Earth is an entity, right? It's their mother, so they're taking care of it. You know what I mean?
Do you guys think, and looking Seal, I'm actually glad you're here for this question. Do we believe that native peoples at some point had contact with extraterrestrials?
Yeah, I mean,
That goes for everybody in the studio.
I mean, I'm a person that I don't really like to say, yeah, they're real. Obama knows. I don't know, like who.
So you're not insane.
But check this out. Like, what about pyramids that sprung up in ancient times in South America? We have them in Iceland and Europe and in Egypt.
South America, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that is
the Nazca
fascinating.
lines. Have you ever heard of the Nazca lines?
No, talk about it.
Okay, so the Nazca lines are pretty much shapes of animals on the ground that you can only see from hundreds,
distance.
from
Oh, like
hundreds
way
of
high
miles
up.
From
up
the sky,
high.
yeah. You have to be.
And the thing is,
in the air.
how is somebody supposed to create something like that unless they had some sort of view?
So you're
While
saying,
creating
so you're
it.
saying there's an alien from the space saying
It's
to
quite
put
possible.
that rock to the left?
Right, exactly,
Right, yeah.
exactly. Like communicating to the people building it, or creating those Nazca lines that were guiding.
Do you think they were communicating to aliens out from a distance, quote unquote, externals?
It's possible that it was, the aliens were there, and then supervising from up above as well.
Yeah.
While they were creating it.
Well, how would they have? Did they have radios?
Well,
Like
dude,
walkie-talkies?
they're freaking aliens. They have
Yeah, yeah.
spaceships. I
Telepathy.
mean,
Telepathy.
I know.
Telekinesis,
God,
telepathy, all that
That's
stuff.
interesting. No, and I have wondered myself about the pyramid thing. I mean, we do find pyramids. We found them in Africa and essentially all the major continents, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
not
South
only
America.
that, but they're very similar to each other in their structure and
Yeah.
their shape and even the diameter and stuff. The pyramid.
Right.
What do we think? And obviously, I'm talking about the unproven. I mean, listen. Shout out to Dr. Ben Carson and his weird grain storage theory. But what do we think the pyramids were for? Paranormally speaking.
From what I understand, they were a kind of a way of focusing energy, like maybe possibly just Earth energy somehow. Something to where it focuses to a point, the point, which is the pyramid.
Okay.
And like for example, the Egyptians, basically their chambers were reflecting of certain energy points within a pyramid, that they assumed, I guess they calculated somehow. I guess it wasn't by accident technically,
okay.
right? So but generally a pyramid means power. It's a focal
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the pyramids, they all have the shape of the Pleiades constellation.
Really?
And they say that if you look at the points where these pyramids are located, they're geometrically aligned.
I've heard that.
Across
See,
the
that is
Earth.
fascinating, and that even from an engineering standpoint is quite the feat. Because I think when you look at the construction of these pyramids, they used engineering techniques and tactics that we are fairly certain were unknown by primitive peoples.
Right. Yeah. The mathematics were just way ahead of their time, according to most people today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and like when they take these bricks that weigh several tons, I mean, we theorize that they got them across the desert because they were using material that wasn't found locally.
Right. It would.
Right.
Yeah. According to the Machu Picchu is a perfect example. A bunch of those stones.
Shout out to Marcel's ancestors.
Oh yeah.
And the Machu
Yeah.
Picchu's everywhere.
Yeah. There you go. Inca. What's up? But yeah.
Shout out to Almastar over here.
In Machu Picchu, they have stones that are only found literally hundreds of miles away
Wow.
from that destination. So everybody's asking, how did they get those?
I've heard
big-
that it's all vibration. There's this one guy named Hutchinson out on the net. You can probably YouTube him or whatever. He's like this crackpot genius guy or fucking insane guy that works out of his garage. And
When George said sane, he did air quotes.
yeah, there you go. Blink, blink. So this guy, he uses sound waves to melt metal. to elevate to levitate metal bars.
What
to,
the
I've seen
fuck?
that before.
Where?
too.
Yeah,
seen
where
that,
did you?
dude?
Where did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up ancient secrets, and there's like hours of video of just.
Okay, so how, George?
Weird
How does this?
metaphysics.
So what do
really?
what they assume
Science.
is that technology was understood back then.
Mhm.
So they would have just a bunch of individuals using crystals or something to create a frequency, like a sound frequency, where it would levitate things. So this guy Hutchison, he on video, it's like probably on his phone or whatever. He shoots these videos where he has this I think they call it a oscillometer. I don't know the technical word for it.
Okay.
But he creates sound waves and he bombards things with sound waves,
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
and they just disintegrate. I mean, they literally start becoming alive. They start like moving and morphing and melting and levitating, right? And they assume that maybe
You sure he's not just playing Nickelback?
I think probably Nickelback, dude, has a way of floating things.
That's right.
Do you, okay,
But
so
they move the bricks that method. So,
Right.
do you think with an understanding of this type of technology that it'll eventually become some sort of weapon that the government will harness, sound weapons, of vibrational
Are
weapons?
we already doing that?
I don't know. That's
Something like that.
don't they
I
shoot
just wanna
Nickelback
say
at people
that-
at the
That's
the
right.
opposing
No,
armies?
oh my God, you guys listen.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a brief detour from what we're talking about, but there was a police department in Canada
Uh-huh.
that, in order to deter people from, I believe it was drunk driving,
Mhm.
said that if they pulled you over and they gave you the breathalyzer and you were above the legal limit, they'd put you in the back of the patrol car, and play Nickelback on the way to the station. And Nickelback heard about this and were like pissed off, saying, "What the hell is
Oh,
wrong
yeah,
with
I
you?"
Our
heard
stuff
they-
is not fucking punishment.
Yeah, I heard that the chief of that department, formally apologized to them.
Did he really?
No, look at that. What's going on right
Whoa, with it. Listen, you guys are watching. For those of you
fucker.
watching live, this is why you guys need to get on the YouTube feed. We're watching experiments as we speak.
The fucking shit was levitating.
Wow.
Oh,
look at
shit.
that.
It's all
Wow.
sound waves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're watching things
Oh,
being
wow.
crushed, apparently by nothing.
what
but I guess
year
it's
is
supposed to be
this?
sound waves.
This is-
And the footage is in black and white, which is why Marcel just asked that question.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Diet 7
Diet 7 Up. He's
My
now
God.
lifting a Diet 7 Up.
Look how
cup.
fucking light it is. It's,
It's
so
all just-
light on calories, it just floats in the air.
It's essentially several objects being shot into the air. For those of you that aren't on the YouTube feed or on the live feed.
That's so interesting.
And he's
Wow,
not breaking.
look at
He
it,
just broke what looked like a piece of.
Yeah.
metal. Or,
I
Yeah.
mean, there's hundreds of testaments for the advancement of those indigenous ancient cultures.
Yeah.
Another thing that's clear as day is the Olmec calendar. It's very precise, even
Yeah.
more precise as far as the movement of stars in the
Mhm.
sky. So,
I've heard of that, yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
So
yeah,
what do you signify? What do you believe? The 2012, December 21st thing. The Mayan calendar ended. What do you think that represented?
So let me go back to the ages, and we had the Industrial Revolution, production, and when you look at it, it's where us as a human civilization, where our power lies. Fire was the beginning of it, and
Yeah.
it turned into community and being in harmony with one another and bartering and then industrialization, which was production, right?
Wait,
But
let me stop you there. You just said a
now-
mouthful, and I'll let you get back to it as
It's
soon as
because I'm covering
as
like
soon as
millions of years.
Right.
All in one
Just-
show on
I
the
just got a
Jag.
yeah, no, I just got a taste full of several million years. No, you just said something really interesting, which I had actually never thought about, which is when man discovered fire and then learned how to create it, because there are still apparently tribes on Earth and severely backwards and tribes that don't have fire yet or don't know how to create it.
Yeah.
I can see how that would lead to greater community, right? Which is essential for survival of the human species as we understand it.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, and there is actually one, I heard about a tribe of native peoples that live in some island who are way isolated from everybody else. Exactly what you would think when you think primitive loincloths or nudity and spears, fighting
Right.
with spears. And they, as far as we know, they do not know how to create fire. They don't have clothing. They don't have anything. And every time outsiders try to make contact, they become violent. And I think they've
Yeah.
killed several researchers. Or
Yeah, I heard that
people.
too. That came out like a couple of years ago, where
Yeah.
people went into these unexplored areas, and then those people showed up, and they ended up killing the
That's right.
So
that
how
were
did you
exploring.
guys know that they actually?
Um,
I mean, did information get leaked out? I guess they didn't
Well,
kill them
yeah,
all,
it
right?
was
The
a-
thing is that they're hostile to outsiders, because I mean even in Mexico you have indigenous cultures up in the Sierra Madre that they
Ooh, I
they
like
don't
that Sierra Madre.
Sierra Madre.
Sexy song.
Sounds like a beer, man.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
band. Sierra
they're
Madre.
not they're not hostile, but they don't appreciate outsiders, and it comes back down to the indigenous prophecies that they understand that Mother Nature is under attack,
Mm.
so they need to respond in that type of hostility.
Oh wow.
Tell me what you know about. I've read some stuff about the giants that live underground. That
The Nephilim,
that the Indians actually fought, and they actually had cave etchings displaying or communicating their events.
That's right. Even Alex Martinelli is familiar with the work of Zechariah Sitchin. May he rest in peace. Talk about that, if you would, Lurking Seal.
Well, it's out of my range because there's a lot of hearsay about
your pay grade?
you guys have heard of Nibiru, Planet X, that's
Yeah.
supposedly coming around. It's supposed to have been back in 2012, but it didn't come. So
Mhm.
Shocking.
Liars,
Maybe
Yeah.
it did on a different Earth,
And,
bro.
in another universe
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. But if you look at the book of Enoch in the Bible, it's mentioned the children of God, and even in the book of Genesis, it's written in there that the angels or the sons of God came and they made with the women, and they describe
The daughters of man.
right, and they
I know that
describe them
passage.
as giants, and
Mhm.
they lived hundreds of years too, and we even have artifacts of elongated skulls found all over the world.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff on the Middle East that they find giant skulls the size of cars, man.
Are you fucking kidding
No
me?
fucking way, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
And actually, I heard that was actually the main motive that Bush went into fucking the Middle East. It wasn't for oil. It was to find the artifacts and to find whatever Stargates or something. Yeah, you heard about that shit too, huh? Yeah,
it's all
Stargate. It
out
was about that. It was about this
George has
this
got a
alien.
semi.
Yeah, I know. I just got a hearty right now. But it was about this ancient technology
Yeah.
that he wanted.
Yeah.
And it was those particular lands. If he gained access to those lands, therefore he had
Those areas.
access to
So the search for oil is a big cover up, according to that.
it. Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think, Martinelli?
Um,
I see that face. That face usually means like, shut the fuck up.
yeah. Listen, I'm trying to be respectful because we have a guest in here, but for God's sake, George W. Bush. Weird. That was weird.
Oh, dude, we had a quote on him. That's awesome.
Yeah, God, I've had
But-
too much to drink
But
already.
If you think of,
By the way,
go ahead.
no, I was actually gonna a quick shout out to my buddy Albert, whom you guys have heard about on this podcast, the alien abductee, who we talk about frequently. We love you, buddy. He provided the booze tonight, so shout
Thank
out
you,
to
bro.
Oh
him.
yeah,
Thank
shout out
you.
to
Yeah.
Albert.
He's
Yeah.
on the video
Thanks,
feed.
brother.
Thanks,
That's
sir.
right,
Yeah.
good man. No, but I don't know. Listen, guys, the idea. Look, I'm willing to put up with conspiracy theories insofar as there was no oil. I think that's fairly obvious. But I happen to think that though we don't know the full story, we will eventually learn that the conflict with Iraq, that began in 2002 or 2003, the original one, was essentially money based.
Okay.
I don't know how. I couldn't tell you how, but the oil thing doesn't make sense. But look, considering this is the show it is, let's talk about elongated skulls. Why the hell not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or,
I try
or
not
elongated
to. I
things.
try not to subscribe to all these like aliens and the Mayans and all these Stargates and Planet X, and
Right.
there's a lot of information.
But yeah, and you're probably like me in that I like that stuff, and certainly again, the guy who provided the alcohol for tonight
No, I'm just saying.
did indeed
Go ahead. I'm bad radio, bro. I'm just signaling to the fucking
George
producer.
just ruined
No,
radio.
Dude,
Just
put some
ruined it.
giant,
This is what
put some
happens.
giant
How
skulls
dare
on
you,
fucking
George.
online,
How
bro.
dare
That's,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
go.
I can't. It's hard to do with my hand signals.
I
Sorry,
figured out
guys.
afterwards. You can talk.
Yeah, George, you can talk to the
I'm
producer on the air.
like,
For
All right.
God's sake. No, but you know, you're probably like me, a lurking seal, in that I am open to the possibilities of this stuff. How much I buy into it, well, you know, I'm trying to keep an open mind, but well, it is fascinating to say the least. And there we have, for those of you watching on the live stream or watching on the YouTube, some giant skulls there. I will tell you
Whoa.
this much: I've heard of this stuff before.
That skull
that
looks
there
like
were-
he's orgasming.
or
Dude,
I
what
can-
what are their penis size, bro?
Stop talking.
It's insanity.
A-holes. I've heard of this stuff before.
They're eunuchs.
And God Almighty, doing the show with a couple of high school sophomores,
Freshmen,
in
right?
case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, penis.
Yeah, you know, I've noticed. I've heard of this stuff before. And then I believe I heard a story a while back about how there was this huge sinkhole in Russia, and it was swallowing up cars and so forth. And then one day, you don't hear about it anymore.
Yeah. Right.
As though it were sealed out. And one of the conspiracy theories around it is that somehow they found a skeleton of some kind of giant or something like that. And so when that happened, the media was ordered to leave, and the whole thing was eventually shut down.
That brings me back to the whole evolution thing of you know, humans and our power, where our power lies. And what's going on now is the fourth age, which is a technological and information age. You know, and if you look at it, the galactic underworld ended in 1999, and it gave way to the fourth, which is intellect and technology. And what did we see in 1999? The sprouting up of internet, sprouting up of smartphones. There goes the quote, the air quotes.
I think it's a bit early for smartphone. We didn't see Y2K, that's for goddamn
But
sure.
No,
it
yeah.
happened in a decade, whereas the Industrial Revolution came and went in a century. You
Mhm.
know, so there goes that time acceleration. The end of it is humanity will realize its true power, which is not technology, it's not production, it's love, and it's community, and it's harmony, being in tune with the planet. And that's what ended in 2012. That's where
So
we
it's
entered into
it's
the
almost
new
like a
age.
circle,
Yeah.
but we got to experience that circle
yeah.
to find, find our way back technically.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that Standing Rock Sioux tribe, you know, it's the first time in over 200 years that the 7 tribes came together to stand up. And that's why the North Dakota pipeline is a big thing, because other pipelines are being protested and they're being fought. But this one, all the tribes have come together to oppose this pipeline. Because due to the prophecy, due to that, the black snake.
Oh wow, that's
Black
interesting.
Mamba.
Fascinating.
That's crazy, dude.
All right. Have we had our fill?
Oh.
No, I want to go, bro.
I want.
I'm just letting loose, bro.
Really? Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it a little longer.
Can we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a
Yeah.
break,
All
guys.
right.
Can we take
We're
a
gonna
break?
We're going to take a quick break, guys. We will be back shortly.
Fish au filet.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. All right, we're back. Jag Show. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're a fan of the show, you will know that it's a common theme for technical difficulties to shit all over our program.
Emotional.
Or perhaps some of these are of the emotional variety. And that's what's happening now. So thanks for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Please join us on JAGradio.com. You can find the early shows, which are all audio, and the subsequent shows, which are video-based. Follow us on Facebook, Jag Radio Man. Anybody got anything else they want to plug?
Yeah, we also have the Twitter page, which is the Twitter website, and then / JAGradio1. I didn't say that last time. It's JAGradio1. So look us up on the Twitter page. We're posting up stuff on that as well.
Wait, was there just a regular Jag Radio?
Yeah, there was.
Are you kidding me?
They took it already.
God damn, I don't know who you guys are. We
Fuck
don't like you
that
guys.
Jag Radio.
Yeah, that's right. Imposters, I say. Oh,
Like
right.
Maryland or
So thanks for joining us. And listen, everybody, tell a friend, man. Tell them if you're enjoying the Jag Radio show, let your friends know. And until next time, for George Antonio, JD Marcel, producer Dre Day All Day, and our guest host, Lurking Seal, I am Alex Martinelli, reminding all of you to never stop learning.
Thank you, guys.